There are some places in the world that just seem to hold on to their past with this terrifying grip. They're locations where history has left wounds so deep, the stories refuse to fade. So today, we're going to dive into three of the most unsettling islands on the planet, places where the past is anything but dead.
And look, these aren't just your average campfire ghost stories. They are the enduring legacies of immense human suffering, etched into the very landscape of these isolated places. We're about to see just how that kind of suffering, well, it never really leaves. All right, first up, let's head over to the Venetian Lagoon in Italy, to a small patch of land with a very big, very dark reputation. This is Poveglia, known for centuries by a chilling nickname, the Island of the Dead. I mean, Poviglia's entire history is just this relentless timeline of misery. This wasn't some one-time tragedy. It became the go-to dumping ground for the sick and the dying, generation after generation. During the Black Death, if you were sent here, that was a death sentence. And the sheer scale of it all, it's just staggering. It's said that over 160,000 plague victims were brought here, burned, and then buried in these huge mass graves. The very soil is thought to be made up of human remains, making the island basically one giant unmarked cemetery. Think about that. And just when you think it couldn't get any darker, the horror kept going right into the 20th century. The story goes that a doctor at the asylum became obsessed with finding a cure for insanity, and he supposedly performed these absolutely horrific experiments on his patients. He claimed he was being haunted by their screams until he too just completely lost his mind, meeting his own tragic end at the top of the bell tower. Now, this isn't just some dusty old history lesson. The fear is still very much alive today. Local fishermen, they still refuse to even cast their nets nearby, claiming they often pull up human bones. The Italian government has completely sealed the island off, basically leaving it to its ghost. Okay, so from an island literally haunted by the dead, we're now going to a place haunted by, well, by their effigies. Our next stop is in the canals of Mexico City, at Isla de las Muñecas, the Island of the Dolls, where a story of tragedy and obsession literally hangs from every single tree. Yeah, this is not your average tourist spot at all. It is a deeply unsettling scene, a nightmarish forest of dolls. They're hanging everywhere, from every tree, every wall, and many of them are filthy, they're broken, they've got missing eyes and limbs, just staring at anyone who's brave enough to visit. So, what's the story behind this truly bizarre memorial? It's actually a really tragic one. It all starts with the island's caretaker, a man named Don Julian Santana Barrera, who found the body of a drowned girl. He became convinced her spirit was haunting him. So what does he do? He starts hanging dolls as offerings to try and appease her. This becomes his life's obsession for 50 years, until, in this final, chilling twist of fate, he's found dead, drowned, in the exact same spot. Of course, a place this eerie is gonna have legends, right? Locals and visitors whisper that after dark, the dolls, they come alive. They say their eyes follow you, that you can hear them murmuring to each other in the wind. It's pure psychological terror. All right, for our last stop, we're heading way out into the middle of the Pacific Ocean, to a place that proves even the most beautiful settings can hide the deepest, darkest secrets. Welcome to Palmyra Atoll. This place is just a total paradox. On one hand, you have this stunning, remote, uninhabited paradise. But on the other hand, its history is just this dark list of shipwrecks, mysterious disappearances, and a really notorious double murder back in 1974. Sailors have called it cursed for ages, a place where ships and people just vanish. But the fear here, it's different. It's not just about things that happened in the past. People who've actually spent time there, like researchers, they describe something else entirely. This palpable, oppressive feeling of dread. Like there's a real malevolence in the air that they swear can literally mess with your sanity. And the experiences people report are just consistently unnerving. People talk about seeing shadows darting around in their peripheral vision, this unshakable feeling that you're being watched, that you're being followed, and just this constant, heavy sense of dread that comes from nowhere. It's like the fear is coming from the island itself. So, okay, we visited three incredibly terrifying places. What's the common thread here? Why do these stories stick with us so powerfully? Well, the answer might actually lie in this idea called collective memory. Think about it. Poveglia, the Island of the Dolls, Palmer Atoll. They're more than just haunted places. They're like physical anchors for our deepest, most shared fears. Our fears of plague, of madness, of brutal violence. They're basically living monuments to the darkest parts of human history. And that, of course, leaves us with one big question. Are these incredibly powerful legends just stories?
Are they just the product of our own fears and imaginations that we project onto these creepy, isolated places? Or is it possible that some locations, through the sheer weight of all that tragedy, can truly become saturated with the darkness they've witnessed?